It's time for another episode of The Real Crimes of Kurri Kurri. In this part, we discover the consequence of driving from Neath to Cessnock rather than walking. When court sat here on the 11th of March, there were a few sentences, but there was only really one long sentencing. Because the defendant had shown up and had a solicitor, we heard sentencing considerations and therefore we heard a lot more details. A lot of the other sentences were short because the defendants didn't show up. This story starts at 10:30 p.m. on a Friday night back on the 10th of January 2025, where Barry, not his real name, drove from Neath to Cessnock. Barry claims he did this because there was no other way of getting home. However, this magistrate already has a response because they've worked out how far Barry needed to travel to get from Neath to his house at Cessnock. The magistrate reckons it's only 4 k's and points out Barry has feet and could have walked it in 25 minutes. Yep, that's an option. The court hears Barry is only 20 years old, has a young child, has a job, which I won't say which profession, also that he has $1,000 in state debt and is familiar with driving because he grew up on a farm. Yes, in my opinion, the magistrate seems to hear those details about Barry, but seems really focused on the community's expectation when it comes to people driving from Neath to Cessnock, because Barry could have used his feet and not ended up at Kurri Local Court. The legal situation is Barry is a learner driver who still has a number of hours to complete to get his piece. So on this Friday night, what was Barry's blood alcohol level, you ask? Well, it should have been 0, of course. However, Barry blows 0.052. Police suspend Barry's licence roadside. So perhaps he did have to walk that last part after all. Barry has pled guilty to drive unsupervised and drink driving. He is convicted and given multiple $440 fines and an additional 3 months disqualification from driving. Barry also got to walk away from court. Many drink drivers don't get to walk away. There are many local examples of drink driving that end in death. So if you need to get from Neath to Barry's house at Cessnock, there is now case law from Kurri Kurri Local Court that shows that drink driving isn't the only option. It's a 25-minute walk.